Good morning, beekeepers. Today I'm going to talk about migratory covers and telescoping covers and what the differences are and advantages and disadvantages. So let's get started. On the left here, I think that's your right, I've got a migratory cover. Well, one of the advantages of that is you can put a feeder right on top of it. It's a 70-millimeter jar with a couple of little holes in it. So that would go on right on there and you can feed your bees right there. That's an easy way. The other advantage of this is that you can take your beehive, your complete beehive, and close up the entrance there, and then you can put a strap around here and move your hive to another place during the evening or when the bees are all in the hive. That's a real big advantage to the migratory cover, and that's why commercial people use it. So I stick this back in here, just a jar lid to close it up, and sometimes I'll put a little piece of wood on there or something to keep the water from draining through if the jar lid has holes in it. On the other side of the coin, we have a telescoping cover. The telescoping cover also has an inner cover. So this inner cover has a little slot here. That's for ventilation, and a hole in the middle. It can also be turned over where there would be an opening in the upper part of the hive for the bees to go in and out. Inside this hive, you've got 10 frames, and if you wanted to put a feeder in it, you would have to move 1 or 2 frames out and put a frame feeder in. That holds about a gallon of syrup, and it's a good way to feed your bees. One of the things I do is I take a piece of tape and I mark the hive that has an inner feeder in it. So now I know there's a feeder in this hive and it needs to be taken out if necessary, cleaned, put back in, new syrup put in, and put the frames back in when you no longer need the feeder. Now this cover can go on here like this, and you can still put a jar on it. So that way it'll go in there. You could also use a pail feeder with it. In that case, you would turn it upside down and put it over the hole in the center. The telescoping cover is called telescoping because it's got this little telescope-like movement. When I put it on, I generally put the inner cover on. I put this and line it up in the back, slide it forward, and then slide it back. And sometimes it doesn't work that well. There. Now I slide it forward and slide it back. Slide it forward again, and I know my opening is open. Now, suppose you want to feed with that pail feeder. That's just sitting out in the open air, and your mahogany inner cover might get rained on. So in that case, you would need to add another box. Then put your telescoping cover over top like that. In the case of a migratory cover, you can take that pail and just put it right on top. You don't have to worry about whether the top is going to get damaged because it's already weatherproofed. Of course, you would need to take this little jar lid out again. Then it goes on like that. So those are some of the advantages and disadvantages of a telescoping cover versus a migratory cover. Commercial folks usually use the migratory. Hobbyists and small-time beekeepers probably like the inner cover. I use both depending on what I'm doing, what time of year it is. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you subscribe. Thank you.